We had a concept, we had an idea, and right at the beginning I remember popping it down thinking that would be lovely.
We really believe in helping to improve end-of-life care, and we're really excited that through film and through the films that we make, we have the potential to do that.
Often when it comes to health and death, religion is a very important factor.
You break my heart and let me with my son.
There's lots of misunderstanding that can actually be quite detrimental to the family. So I think these things are so important to give people a voice.
I didn't know that a short film could have such a huge impact.
Okay, 2 take 4.
We're producing a drama in association with Heart of England and the National Council for Palliative Care. And the idea behind it is that it's going to reflect some of the experiences that people in the Muslim community have had when accessing end-of-life care support from the NHS.
If we are going to produce services and make sure we reach everybody, then we need to engage with the community that we're serving.
The purpose of our trip to Birmingham was to meet with some of the community groups.
And what we've done is we've collated stories and experiences from the community. So that's been really useful because we really want this to be an accurate film.
We're just running through the script. We met with the community yesterday and that was really valuable, but a few things have changed, which is great, you know, that we know now. So I'm just kind of putting all the information that we collated yesterday together and tweaking it so we can get this script out. I mean, the main thing with this scene is it's just come off the back of the learning point about how important it is that Muslims can pray on a Friday in a mosque, and the idea that his son has just died, it's just going to really heighten how important that moment is for him. Yeah. And they say the medical certificate has not been signed, but I don't know if he'd just say something like there's a hold up with the paperwork, like whether he'd just keep it more general.
He's not 100% sure on exactly what is happening, and that's why he's panicked as well, that's why he's concerned.
Yeah.
And the funeral director, he's obviously seen this happen so many times, so he knows exactly what he needs to do to calm Farhad down and then to enable him to feel better about what's going to happen in the next few hours.
Through that conversation we need to show just how important those leaders are. It's not just them getting advice from the health professionals, but it's from their own community as well. You kind of need both. You know what I like about it is the way that the learning points are kind of just, they're really subtle, and every scene has got a reason why it's there at that particular time, and yeah, I'm happy. It's a bit strange to think how these words become an actual film and then implement practice, so yeah, it's good.
Well, this project is about ensuring that the Trust gets it right on occasions of bereavement within the hospital, because we serve a very diverse community.
In the catchment area that we live in, a high population of our patients come from Muslim background, and there have been instances where things haven't gone to plan.
If we don't provide all their needs, then we create a barrier.
It's all about ensuring that the staff and the family, there's effective communication which takes place between them, so that we can have that two-way dialogue and have a discussion around the end-of-life care pathways.
This sort of training is paramount. We can learn so much from it.
And I think it's timely because of new reforms coming out to give people that understanding which will empower them, whether that's healthcare professionals, whether that's community groups.
If you don't know the procedure for end of life for Muslim people, it will be a little bit problem, but because of this film, I think it will be, people will be open their mind.
I think something like this really highlights it for people and makes them think about it more deeply.
Making them aware of what the customs are and what policies have to be followed.
I haven't ever seen a film that touches upon some of the issues that we're going to be raising in this film. It's interesting having a look at it like this and thinking in what, a week's time it's going to be a film, and it's going to be something that people are going to be watching. For me, I mean, this film, although it's only on paper, is actually already made in my head. The porter crosses their path. It's like they cross paths and I want to make a really great drama, but it's about these learning points. That learning point is actually featured in the mosque as opposed to when he's running.
My first priority is the person on the ward who's alive, who's ill. Once someone dies, filling their death certificate is lower on the list, okay? So then more time lapses and then more problems happen.
Delays mean more stress, you see, for the families.
The best place for the person who died is to rest in peace, and that's the burial.
Each family will have their own preferences, but it is important that we get it right according to their frame of reference.
When there's a delay, they point the finger at the coroner, the doctors, the registrars, and sometimes it's not really in their control. There's delays that are inevitable because of the procedures that are involved.
A lot of people don't know the procedures, and when their loved ones pass away, then they are so anxious.
There are some certain specific requirements at end of life into bereavement that need to be addressed from a cultural and religious perspective.
It will live with that family forever, so it's very necessary to get this process right.
Dean sent us the ideas for the original graphics, and he also storyboarded them as well. So we've got some nice little storyboards. You know what I want from the graphics? I want them to be embedded within the actual framing of the actual piece.
People learn differently. So some people are visual, some people like to read, and it's part of a blended approach, so it would probably never be used on its own, but as part of a training package. It's very important, to see the anguish, to see the distress.
You can empathise with what's going on, and therefore when you find yourself in that situation, it's so easy to remember that film than that side of A5 that you may have put in the back of the book when you left the classroom.
Everyone can identify with these issues, and it's just about making sure that we can do it in a really visual and engaging way, in a way that kind of sticks with you and makes you take action, basically.
We've been in those situations so many times before, but actually did we really understand what we were dealing with? And I don't think we did.
What can we do to work together? How can we do things differently? And rather than not address it, we've addressed it head on.
People, just remember the characters.
It's about bringing it to life so people can understand the situation more.
So you've gone out of the room to just get a breath of fresh air, okay? And then I'm going to come out and I'm going to say, Farad, Farad.
Farid! Farid!
And I want you to see your son on the bed, and I want you to get close to him, and I want you to whisper in his ear the prayer that you need to say, okay? Tony, if it doesn't feel real, you must tell me, okay?
Yeah, that's fine, yeah.
Yeah. La ilaha illallah. Accuracy on a film like this is everything. You can't get it wrong. It's really, really important.
La ilaha illallah.
La ilaha illallah. Muhammad Rasulullah.
Perfect.
Perfect. So I'll slate it, roll it. Quiet please. Roll sound, roll camera. Speak. Mark it. Slate 5, take 4.
Action.
If we get her to come down slightly so she can be in the same frame.
She needs to be praying at the same time. Really good shot, man.
La ilaha illallah.
Saying the Shahada, which is about the unity of God and making that Shahada. That's the tradition which is common across the Muslim community.
You declare your recognition of the Creator and your obligation to Him.
It's really comforting for families to know that someone died saying that, because then it means that they've died the right way, still declaring faith, which is very important.
It's basically saying, I believe in God and I believe in His messenger, which is the foundations of the entire religion.
It should be the first thing that a baby hears, and it should be the last thing that a person hears before death.
But in those final few moments, there's a feeling that there's something afterwards. This is not the end, but there's something that I'm going to after this.
So when the soul departs, it departs with that prayer.
So it is just a gesture as to who we are, what we are for, a reminder of what we stand for.
You valued this your entire life, but you may be scared now, and when you are scared you tend to forget things, but let's not leave without it.
We've got the extras arriving a bit later with the little children, so that would be nice.
I actually find it quite rewarding as well. This is something really different to what I've been involved in previously.
It's So it's a real sort of all-in-together atmosphere. It's lovely.
Okay, so what we're doing now is we're just setting up for what we hope is probably one of the final shots of the day. For me, this shot here is probably my favourite shot. It's an open space, we have Farhad sat there and he's watching a child play whilst his own child is actually dying. And I just think it says so much, and I think it's a really powerful moment. And the way Amarjeet has framed this is just absolutely beautiful. So when you get a chance to watch this film, look out for this shot. I love it.
Everyone involved was so engrossed in it with such commitment to the project.
Everyone's just treating it with a real sensitivity.
As soon as you enter, you just get that feel of serenity.
The crew, made us, really, really relaxed and at home, actually.
Market 77, take 1. Farhad! Farhad! Farhad, come!
To do it with you means we've got the best we could possibly have.
That's a wrap.
Very good.
Thank you so much.
The director and everyone else involved was just sheer fun to be with.
I could just feel it here. Certain scenes, you get me going.
But the guys have been amazing and I'm absolutely blown away.
It's almost like you become family because you're together so long. It's a lovely experience. I think it's going to be so important to get the message across from hospital staff and community people that we're really trying to work together to make a difference.
We love empowering you to bring your film to life and make a difference with your idea, because it's your idea that actually starts the whole ball rolling.
I don't know a lot about that sort of section of the community with regards to sort of dying, death and bereavement, and it really sort of answered a lot of questions. There was a room full of health professionals that were completely in silence, quite awestruck.
I think that the silence in the room was just testament to the impact it was having on people.
We know that if we make a training film that makes a difference, we've made a film for the right reasons, and I don't think we could ask for anything more.
I think it's already made a difference, and I think it will continue to make a difference, and that was what it's all about.